TV is bringing you the postseason like no one else can. From pregame to postgame, NBA TV is your home for around-the-clock playoffs analysis, highlights, and commentary, all postseason long. Coverage of the 2019 NBA playoffs live on NBA TV. Pistons and the Bucks from the mean streets of Milwaukee.
Greatest big man ever.
Kareem.
Yeah. Well,
1971 championship team.
You can't ever say anything about Bill Russell. He's in that conversation, greatest big man ever.
Try stopping that Greek freak.
Yeah. I love this kid right here.
I mean, anything in here, he's Shaq-like. We talk about Shaq-like numbers. That's him, honestly.
Oh, okay. Where's the defense at?
Blake Griffin didn't play tonight. Ernie, there's a story about that later, right?
Yes, yeah. 38-18 after one in favor of Milwaukee.
Oh,
my goodness.
Jump, Don Maker.
No.
To what? Smiling to the camera?
I mean,
Eric Bledsoe.
I hate when they switch off the big to the little, because that's all you're doing is undressing your big man. There's a story about Blake Griffin later.
70-43.
We're just going to keep showing him for the hell of it?
No, I'm just...
At the half.
Shaq-like.
You saw
look at
this
one. For takeoff.
Look at this one from the free throw line.
Man.
He's one step in from the free throw line.
Oh, he sure is.
24-17.
Dunk contest.
And then... Andre Drummond.
He's a good kid. He just got frustrated.
Yeah, but that's
flagrant two, and
he got to go.
It's not a flagrant two.
Yeah, it is.
No.
There's nothing but injury can happen.
Unnecessary.
When you push a guy when he's in the air, he's in danger zone.
That's the best player in the league, arguably, right now.
It's a hard play.
121-86. The Bucks winners over the Pistons, and $7 in double figures. It's the first time that's happened in a playoff game since 1987, when the Bucks beat Chuck's Sixers in decisive Game 5 of the first round.
I remember that. Played at the Mecca.
There you go. 121-86, the final. So what do you say after a loss like that? Here's Wayne Casey.
We got another level we have to get to with our intensity, physicality, because they're coming through there with violence. So we got to make sure we get our level of competitiveness up.
How were you able to guard Giannis for that stretch that you did in the first half? I've watched that kid from the moment he was drafted, so I know his game like the back of my hand. Obviously playing him as many times as I have too, so I know what he's going to do, so I'm just going to try to play him as best as I can and keep him out of the paint.
What was going through your mind when that flagrant went down?
Next question.
Was it frustration? I mean,
Next question, please.
As far as the Blake Griffin situation is concerned, Rod Beard tweeting out this quote from Griffin: "I have to do what our organization, our training staff, our doctors think is best, and that's the bottom line." He's out with a sore left knee. Says the frustration level's at 10, and if it was just my decision, I would have played. Thoughts?
He kind of contradicts what he says, but anyway.
What do you mean by that, Shaq?
I ain't never know if a star player want to play, he gonna play.
Thank you.
Especially in the playoffs.
That's my point.
If I had, I've been a star, and I'm not gonna.
If it's my decision, I'm playing.
He said if it was my decision, you're the player.
You're the player.
I mean, if you can't.
But these days, is it ever the player's decision? No, listen, is it? You hear training staffs all the time, and a coach says, "Look, I'm at the mercy of the training staff." The training staff says, "No, he can't go."
He shouldn't have said. If it was up to me, I would have played.
If it was up to him, he said he would.
Yeah, so that's...
I think a better...
But it's not up to him,
but I think a better way...
It's not up to him.
Yeah, but I think a better way, Ernie, would have been to say...
It's up to the training staff.
It's not up to the training staff. You're the player.
Well, let me just say this.
All players would always like to play, but if a staff says, no, the knee's not sound or whatever, he can't play, then...
Well, we always say this about injury. Can it get any worse?
Yes.
So we've all had tendonitis. And they say that's what he's got. You can't hurt yourself anymore with tendonitis. That's just a pain tolerance thing.
And the more you go, Ernie, it gets warm, it loosens up. It's a fact.
I would say a better reaction to this loss, especially the way they lost and how they lost. A better reaction for Blake would have been, when are you going to play? Not, I could have played and I wanted to play, they didn't let me. I will be back in game 2, game 3, just so everyone knows. I think that's really the question everyone wants to know is when you're going to play, not that someone held you back.
I understand.
That's the only thing I would say.
Ernie, I understand what you're saying, but to go off of what Chuck is saying, it's the player's decision. doctors could recommend that you not play, but if you want to play as a player, you're going to play.
And let me say this in fairness to Blake. He'll be able to rest up after next week. They got 3 more games.
He can watch the show when LeBron is on.
Icy hot.
He gonna get icy. Hey, he gonna be able to rest at about the end of the week. He'll be doing it 1, 2, 3.
You were right about LeBron, so you're right, baby, right about this.
Yeah.
Pacers and Celtics. Game 1, TD Garden.
It took a little while for Kyrie and the Celtics to warm up.
Serious.
But once they did, because early on it was energy and effort that Indiana was just outclassing them with.
Yeah, 16-3 run.
But you just let somebody just outwork you.
Yeah, but then that wears off,
Yeah.
That wore off.
The talent just took over.
Yeah, talent took over when talent worked hard.
So they play a little bit more physical.
Remember they had 10 turnovers, which tell you they were just going, like when you have 10 turnovers, you're just not concentrating.
Corey Joseph.
Got him.
And it's a 45-38 lead for Indiana at the half.
Wasn't big enough.
Boston comes out 15-0.
Yeah, it wasn't big enough. Obviously.
They expanded that to
Barkey on the block.
22-3 run, which essentially ended the game in the third quarter. Indiana had 8 points on 2 of 19 shooting in the third quarter.
Everybody touching the ball.
This is the Boston team people want to see all year, but I just think it's too late.
And saw last year in the
play. I think it's just too late to turn it on.
Terry Rozier.
You know why they look good though? Because everybody's involved.
Well, they look good because they were playing the Pacers. Number 1.
I'll push it.
Stop the ball.
No, too late now.
No.
Gordon Hayward with the finish.
Oof, that's undressed.
I mean, nothing can take away. Nate McMillan's done a fantastic job this year with the Pacers. Make the playoffs without Oladipo.
Hey, who?
He and Doc Rivers are probably the two coaches.
Doc's done a fantastic job, and my man Budenholzer's done a
Well, he has talent.
Oh, and I apologize. Don't forget Kenny in New Jersey.
Kenny Atkinson, Doc Rivers, and Nate McMillan. We didn't expect this out of their team.
No question.
84-74. In the second half, it was 46-29 Boston as Indiana shot 9 for 38 from the floor. That's 24%, and 1 for 14 from the promised land. And you add all those numbers up and you get 84-74, and they will play game 2 Wednesday in Boston. So the Celtics take game 1 by 10, 84-74. Feel like we've talked this game out as the night has gone on, but bottom line on this, and you really just think it was just in the first half not paying attention for
effort. No, you're not paying attention. Just effort. Like the effort level that Indiana came out like it was a playoff game. And so in the regular season, you don't pick your man up full court all the time. 82 games. You don't deny the wings all the time. But in the playoffs, you're like, we don't play for 2-3 days. Everything steps up. You deny your entry passes. You pick up full court. You deny posts. You front. You fight harder in the post because you know you have days of rest. You're not playing tomorrow. So now, once Boston said, "Oh,
first half wake up call.
We're in the playoffs,"
Second half,
they played with
and
also their talent level, Kyrie Irving and the rest.
And also, I'm sorry, and also I think it took them a little time to adjust not having Marcus Smart. Because he does a lot for them. But Phil Jackson always used to say, beware of the switch, because when you turn it on, it might not work. And, they first half,
remember that.
Lackadaisical, boom, boom, boom. And then second half, they flicked the switch, got a little bit more.
That's why I think it won't show this series, because they've been turning the switch on and off. I mean, Ernie's asked us probably 4 times this year, is Boston got it together when they go on these little minute winning streaks. But when you play against the better teams, like today, Indiana came out with great energy and emotion, and then the better team won. Now, when they play Milwaukee in the second round, they won't be able to turn it on and off because Milwaukee plays hard all the time.
Before we head to break, a couple of shout-outs we need to make, and one of them is my colleague on TBS Baseball, Ron Darling, is also one of the voices of the New York Mets, and he's going to have surgery this week to remove a mass in his chest. He made the announcement on Saturday on their telecast, and he hopes, he said, if there are no complications, as doctors think, he'll be back talking baseball next month. To Ron Darling.
Nothing but the best.
RJ, you're a good man, and we're all thinking about you.
Good luck, Ron.
And then sadly we pass on the fact that John McLeod, legendary coach in the NBA, coached the Suns, coached the Mavs, coached the Knicks. He has passed away at the age of 81. What a gracious man. When I first started here, one of the first stories I did, just went and talked to 4 or 5 different coaches and just did a piece on their philosophy and that kind of thing, and he was one of them, and just was such a gentleman.
He made his name in Phoenix, so I can't say we were great friends, but never heard a bad word about Coach.
707 career wins.
Just a nice man. God rest in peace.
And the Suns Ring of Honor in 2012, John McLeod was 81.
Drivers just